Working with Janelle in this movie was magical. Okay, Janelle is a icon living. She's a leader in her own right. And just a very independent thinker, and as an advocate for all things equality and justice. So just to be working alongside a dynamic force like that was just magical. And I'm very, very excited to for the rest of the world to see what she's capable of doing. As this is her first like lead role where she carries the film, and I mean she carries this thing like she's the veteran that she always has been. Um,
Mm.
so I'm very excited to see her, uh, you know, her range to be exposed to the rest of the world. And you can't pigeonhole a visionary like Janelle. So exciting times.
Mm.
Yeah, I will speak to their artistic approach, man. They are amazing visionaries. I like to call them prophets because they constantly on the pulse, and just kind of like ahead of the curve when it comes to the social dynamics in America. But they have this unique way of telling a story with just color and imagery, and then they compile that with just the music that they are able to intermix with what they're doing. So they're one of the few people that, seeing some of the work that they did previously, where I was moved just by the visuals. I was more intentionally looking at the moving picture than I was to the spoken word or the music that was playing. And I think that's testament to the ability as a filmmaker to do something or to make something that takes you away just by seeing it, and then it's amplified by the sound that they then incorporate into their work. So, and also there's something to be said about the unknown, first time directors, they are risk takers. They're constantly pushing the boundary. And I think this film is one such where, I think their mantra throughout was like, look, we're gonna have to do this, and if we're gonna do it, we have to do it right. So, there was no holding back in anything that they wanted to see on screen, so it was either go big or go home, and they
Mm.
went all out. It's funny that, we keep talking about the significance of it when, it's been significant for 400 years. The themes, and I'll tell you this, like, as a Zimbabwean growing up, some of the history that we learned, we always knew that there was something going on in America between the blacks and the whites. The stories and the films that we watched back then, uh, how black people were constantly depicted as some type of stereotype and all these kind of things. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new. And I think maybe we should start changing the narrative of the ongoing, that maybe if we start changing and start speaking about, the changes that need to take place right now, because there's something to be said. There's power in what we say, so if it's ongoing, it can be ongoing for the next 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. you know Change is imminent. Change needs to happen now, because with the themes and what's happening now, you cannot acknowledge the truth that's in front of your face. If you choose to ignore it, you're ignorant. And if you choose not to do something about the truth that's in front of you, you choose to be arrogant. So what are you going to do? Because ultimately there's a problem and we need to fix it, because
Mm.
these films are our way of expressing our hurt and pain that we've so often faced. And the film and art is one way of expressing that, from the music that we used to, that rap, and how that was born out of a need to express their frustration, because I guess the systems in place wouldn't allow for African Americans to make the changes that were needed to better the communities that we live in, and art is one way to formally express to the rest of the world and to the rest of America that, hey, things are not right. So these themes are very important and will continue to be important until these fundamentals are addressed.